Alright, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Lesbian couples custody battle with sperm donor. I saw this. I got home and I was just flicking on Facebook and this popped up. Somebody, one of my friends or whatever, and I just read it because it just came across weird when I saw it. I was like, okay. So basically, lesbian couple goes to get artificial insemination. This is actual sperm donor, okay. And somewhere along the lines, uh, I think both of them got pregnant, if I ain't mistaken, and both of the sperm donor for both of the fathers wanted visitation. And they went to court to get it, and they won visitation. It's like this could set a legal precedent because, you know, normally sperm donors don't want relationships with their kids technically, and they don't, they're not responsible or liable in any kind of way technically, right? Here's the thing. I think maybe it's a year ago, maybe two. There was a there was a case of the complete opposite, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where a dude was a sperm donor for a lesbian couple, and they couldn't afford taking care of the kids, so they filed for child support on that sperm donor father, and they were granted child support. So to me, the precedent is not really that big of a deal because the opposite has happened. So why would you not assume that it can't go both ways? Now the other thing is this, and I've said this before. It just you if you're in same-sex relationships, you two women, you're saying you don't like men, but now you want kids because you're women. Two men, you say you don't like women, but you got kids because you're men. And this is the irony of this whole situation. And people talk about parenting, custody situations. I've talked about them too. Excuse me. So now you got single mothers who 9 out of 10 times have custody of children. Now you got lesbian couples who have custody of children through sex with men or artificial insemination, and can on the back end take those guys to court for child support. Maybe they have visitation, maybe they don't. And now you have sperm donors who can petition the court for the same quote unquote legal visitation rights, and be put on child support too. And I see more and more gay male couples, just gay couples, I guess, where two dudes and kids. But who's having the hardest time to get to have kids in the household? Straight fathers. Now, how the fuck did we get here? Because that means what is inevitable, what has been told, what has been showed for years. You know, people are just selfish to the point you give them an inch, they take a mile. Because now you have, because see, you can be a good mother as a single mother. You automatically assumed to be a good mother as a single mother. You can be automatically assumed to be a bad father period. Whether you have the kid or not, right? You just be, you know. But you can be a lesbian or lesbian couple and walk around with kids, and people just, I mean, people gonna think like that don't even make sense. You could be a gay couple and walk around with kids, and people still gonna think, oh, that didn't even make sense. But then they're gonna applaud you like, oh, they're such good parents. They're in their kids' lives, and you're thinking, and all without thinking, without saying to these people, how exactly are you gonna teach your daughter to be a woman, and how exactly are you gonna teach your son to be a man? And people make a million excuses just because it's not like that, and people are people, and people have good hearts, and people, okay. So what, you want a bisexual society in 20 years? That's pretty much what you're saying. And what's wrong with that? Okay. Even though my generation is having a hard time just staying together because of the dysfunctional relationships that we were brought up in were normal. Now we can't even, quote unquote, be together. So now the next generation is going to have this to deal with also. Well, maybe I'm like girls that I've dealt with in my past. I like women today, well, I like men too, but that don't make me. That means I just like everything. No, that makes you a confused motherfucker. Stupid at that, because at the end of the day, how on Monday you like women and on Tuesday you like men, and you think everybody, but the women that you like can't like men or can't like other women, and the men that you like can't like other women, or if they like other men, you ain't fucking with them because they gay. You see this dynamic that people are putting out there, but to me, I'm making sense, but sense doesn't seem to make sense in this world nowadays. Now these ladies are, the way it was written, I don't know these ladies, but the way it was written, it was like they're kind of upset and offended that, how can I put this? That they wanted a family, and they just wanted a sperm donor, and they just wanted a. You know what would have killed this whole situation? If you would have really been a lesbian and not fucking with anything that comes out of a man. You wouldn't have this problem. But on the flip side, it also says this: you took the child support money though. So how the fuck you do that? Like how you, everything is sperm donor. He's a sperm donor. This is legally binding. Blah blah blah. Which I can get into quickly by saying this: just because it's written on pieces of paper by people who say they're in power doesn't trump the natural law of things. Those guys are those kids' father. There you go. Like, yeah, he jacked off in the cup. You put that cup of nut inside you. Still that kid's father. I mean, maybe you shouldn't have went to the cup factory in the first place. But whatever. But what I'm getting at is you accepted the money. They took child support. You accepted the money. So you want the money from child support. You don't want them to visit because you want your own family. But at the same time, you wanted to be a lesbian and you liked women, but you wanted to have kids because you're a woman, knowing that lesbians don't produce kids, but you can get some artificial insemination and pay for that. And I know some lesbians who fuck straight, who fuck men to get pregnant, because they want kids. Just I've seen gay dudes fuck straight women to get them pregnant to have kids. But this is a clusterfuck of selfishness and ridiculous magnitudes. Yes, the link is in the description box below for those who don't believe me. But I was just using this as an example to say that, there's going to be another generation that you keep doing this shit, that you're going to have 40 and 50-year-old parents looking back like, I fucked that up, but my pride won't let me tell nobody. But I'm going to let them live in this fucked up state they're in. I'm out, man.